the suspect who is in custody is this fellow. This, I'm not going to name him, but this is the guy. He was obviously delighted with himself because this is right after he was arrested. And so again, he was armed with an AK-47 and he was utterly unbothered to be arrested. And now there's of course a lot of really, really sketch stuff coming out about him. First of all, he tweeted back in April that he was very much influenced by all of the tone and tenor coming out of the Biden administration, which is that democracy is on the ballot. And Trump's slogan should be Massa, make Americans slaves again, master. Democracy is on the ballot. We cannot lose. We cannot afford to fail. The world is counting on us to show the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like the guy was radicalized. Like by J6, all the stuff that's happened and people not bringing the temperature down. I thought they were supposed to bring the temperature down.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how I feel about it. There's so much rhetoric out there from the left.
We've got to show, I have a ton of rhetoric to remind people of.
Right.
But absolutely, the temperature never came down.
It never came down. So why is that? When they said it was going to come down, why haven't they brought it down? I thought we were going to, when you have a party that calls Trump Hitler, they're going to start believing that he's Hitler. And then they're going to be weirdo, radical lunatics out there. They're going to be like, well, if I take him out, then I'm going to be a hero. And this guy obviously is a lunatic and he's kind of a narcissist. He was delighted to be arrested. He feels like he's some sort of hero. He was recruiting people to go fight in Ukraine. This is what this guy was doing. I mean, he thinks he's important and he's not.
Well, and apparently he is in the weirdest of ways. So here's where it gets super strange. The New York Times actually had him included in a profile back in 2023 when he was helping recruit fighters to Ukraine. The New York Times covered him. And this is a guy with a rap sheet forever long. Like back in 2002, he was arrested in North Carolina, apparently for possessing a weapon of mass destruction, which was a fully automatic machine gun. Right. And then even weirder, do you guys remember that the first guy to try to take Trump's life 8 weeks ago or 9 weeks ago, remember how people were like, oh my God, he mysteriously was in the background of a BlackRock commercial?
Yep.
This guy was too. Like and this is a screenshot from the commercial.
Yeah.
Like what are the chances of that?
Guys? What are
super weird.
Yeah, it is weird, isn't it?
And then even weirder is that apparently this was a very last minute game. Like Trump didn't have on his calendar that he was going to go play golf at this particular golf course. It was a very impromptu decision that not very many people knew about. And so the fact that that this guy was at the course ready to go, like what is going on?
Like how did he know that? Yeah. How did that happen? Right.
I have so many questions.
Oh, I've got all the questions. Yeah. A lot of questions. There's a lot of stuff. And people are like, oh, this guy's a right winger. Yeah. There's a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there's so much. Well, you go to, listen, they want to paint him as a right winger because, like back in the day, he may have been.
Well, he voted for Trump in 2016.
Right. But then he quickly became a never Trumper.
Yeah.
Quickly became that. And again, with all the temperature, all the temperature stuff and the J6 stuff. And then he became, and listen, they've scrubbed all of his socials again with that too. Like you can't, it's weird how the last shooter, we know nothing about that kid. Nothing about him, nothing about his family. I just find that all very interesting. Still, we don't. It's been 2 months. What do you know about that kid?
I think they know a lot and they don't want us to know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's like whenever they want us to know stuff and it fits their narrative, it's out there in like 2 seconds. But whenever it's like, I don't know, like the transgender shooter and they don't want us to know anything about it, it takes a year for us to find out bits and pieces that they want us to know. And then they'll just give us crumbs. We know nothing. It's super important. I mean, what happened 2 months ago was a huge deal. It's a huge effing deal, right? In the words of Joe Biden. And so I feel like it would have been really important for the American people to know exactly why that happened and what happened and who that kid was. And we need to see all the facts. We pay these people salaries. We should see all of this stuff. And we're not getting the information. That's not okay. And I hope that it doesn't happen with this guy too. We need answers.
Well, at least this guy is alive. Now, whether or
Right.
not he's going to,
He's going to stay alive?
Well, and whether he's going to cooperate. I mean, who knows,
Yeah.
what he'll say and what he won't say.
I don't know. Some people think he's going to be Epsteined.
The world is so weird right now.
Yeah.
I cannot rule that out because there's just a lot of weird stuff going on, especially around this whole second attempt. And then just speaking about the rhetoric and how much the temperature has been amped up to cause people to get radicalized to this extreme, let's just look at some examples, shall we? One of them, or at least this first one, is from literally just hours before the attempt. And it was because the left is trying to paint Trump as some sort of violence inciter because of the cats and dogs thing. This is for real. Here's Jasmine Crockett.
Swore to defend against those that are coming against us, whether they are domestic or international. And right now, I feel like MAGA in general, they are threats to us domestically.
Oh my God.
And we see it time and time again.
They're threats to us domestically.
Well, I mean, my God, they've been saying that for years, that we're threats to democracy. We're literal threats to this country. So you don't think that there are going to be whack jobs out there that are going to internalize that and try to do something about it and feel like they're heroic in the process? Of course, there are going to be people that do that. People are crazy.
They are completely batshit. And here is how some doctor on MSNBC referred to Trump supporters.
Let's not pretend that Donald Trump isn't exactly like Mussolini, exactly like Hitler. He is that guy.
This is the thing.
This is the one that I meant in terms of referring to the supporters. This is the one that I meant to play.
This cannot continue. Honestly, this can't continue. This country has an opportunity to vanquish this MAGA ilk. People are going to die if he doesn't stop this.
Really? Who's going to die? Because last time I checked, the president is like, he took a shot at. He took a shot to the head. He almost had his head blown off 2 months ago. And he escaped that miraculously by the grace of God. And then yesterday, somebody tried again. So who is going to, it's wow.
And there's more. Remember Claire McCaskill?
A lot of people have tried to draw similarities between Mussolini and Hitler and the use of the terminology like vermin and the drive that those men had towards autocracy and dictatorship. The difference, though, I think makes Donald Trump even more dangerous. And that is he has no philosophy he believes in. All he wants is to look in the mirror and see a guy who's president. All he cares about is selfish self-promotion. That's the only philosophy he has, which makes him even more dangerous because he has actually said out loud that it would be okay to terminate the Constitution.
It's just
okay. Never said that. Never actually said that. So she's a liar. And then the hyperbolic bullcrap with he's more dangerous than Mussolini and Hitler. Yep. So you don't think some whack job's going to take that and go, I got to get rid of this guy and, for my country. Some blue-haired weirdo, which he was blue-haired, by the way. I mean, come on. This is not brain surgery. This is what they're doing. You're right. It's radicalization. That's what it is.
And sometimes they actually say the quiet part out loud.
Unquestionable at this point that man cannot see public office again. He is not only unfit, he is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
Oh, he has to be eliminated.
Nobody on our side ever says that stuff. We just don't. We want an actual democratic process to play out. That's what we want because that's what our founders wanted. These people will do everything they can to make sure that doesn't happen. And they want it. And there are people on the left who are delighted that there are actual whack jobs who are doing this to Donald Trump right now. And that makes me sick to my stomach.
It should. It should make everybody sick. This was Joe Biden just a couple months ago. Donald Trump is a genuine threat to the nation. He's a threat to our freedom. He's a threat to our democracy. He's literally a threat to everything America stands for.
Really a low temperature right there, you guys.
Right?
Super low.
This is crazy.